lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics. And we're out of time, so you...
Hey, y'all, Gravity, any day above ground, live it. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Thursday. By the way, this got to be a record. Screenshot. That's right. We gonna have fun for about 20 minutes before we get into the show, the real one, where we watch Charlie Kirk get his ass kicked in a debate. You know, might as well. It's been almost 2 months since he gone. We might as well. Black MAGA has been having a terrible 48 hours. You think the Republicans are having it bad? Black MAGA, they are crashing out. And it's beautiful to see. And it's not them so much crashing out. It's their white audience realizing that they are feckless idiots who just followed the trends and wanted to be part of the group. They wanted to be the one black person. They wanted to be the token. They were given an opportunity to tell everyone how smart they were. They were given the opportunity to show them that they could lead. But again, as in this system of white supremacy, even though they like to tell you there isn't one, white people will never let a black person lead them. And Black MAGA is finding that out now, especially in the wake of these Democrat destructions that happened all over the country. Foresight is one of the many traits that you have to give up when you put on your gray and black suit. When you put on that blackface for massa. When you have to dance your jig like Chris Rock did in Bigger and Blacker. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at two examples. As you can see, Bussy Smith, a.k.a. Rob Smith, and Tatum Tots, a.k.a. Officer Tatum. We will have a longer explanation later on because I'm going to do a video on the rest of them. But these two were a glaring example yesterday of people that grifted into politics and kudos to them. They made a nice little niche for themselves, but they're realizing that when you're not sincere and you really don't have any solutions and you just spend all day talking, at a certain point, someone's going to ask you that inevitable question. Well, explain to us how we're going to fix it. And then you find out they can't. So we're going to start with Bussy Smith. You know, he out there, he trying to go after Zahavier, you know, that sass on sass crime. But he did this video regarding the elections yesterday, and it's quite fascinating what you're going to hear. And then we're going to show you how White MAGA responded to it. So let us begin. And I apologize again for how the beginning of this video looks, because I know, especially the men in this chat, they don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. But let's go.
So Republicans lost Virginia, New Jersey, and Zohran Mamdani is the new mayor of New York City. Republicans, white boy summer is over and a cold winter is here.
They love cold winter, sir. It's white. White boy summer. Okay. White boy summer.
And the reason that I'm saying this is this. Now, there's been this concentrated effort over the past 10 months that I have seen where a lot of people in the Republican Party and in the conversation on the X and all of this stuff have kind of tried to retcon Trump's and the Republicans' win. And they kind of tried to ignore and erase that new coalition that brought Trump into power. These blacks, these gays, these Jews, these Asians, these Latinos, all...
Interesting. So he rainbow coalitioned right now. Blacks, gays, Jews, Latinos, Asians. Okay, Rob Smith. Yeah, sure. He got notches up with those groups. And what did they do in those races that you guys were complaining about yesterday and Tuesday night? They went right back to where they were, where they feel most comfortable. They went back to the blue side because they know the blue side ain't going to ask no questions. They're going to say, I want to do this, pay me. We're fun here, pay me. And like I said yesterday on the live, they pulled conservatism on the left in front of your faces, and those fuckers went for it. Pay me. Look at our beautiful family. Pay me. Mamdani, I said yesterday, is a girlfriend. It's actually his wife. He has a wife, and his parents are still there. Pay me. And I also want you dumbass Republicans to understand. Did you not notice? I want everybody in the chat to also just think on this when I play the video. Didn't you notice also in those races they did not focus on black people winning? Because black people won races on Tuesday. They didn't highlight that. The left did not highlight that. Interesting.
All of these non-traditional conservatives that came in, I think
Hello,
that
Baba.
they've been allowed to kind of like operate under the delusion that this was like white men saved Western civilization and we showed up and we did it and now we're going to run DC and it doesn't matter what anybody else says because if you're black in DC, if you're a black Republican, then you're DEI. We don't need you. We don't need all these gays. In fact, the gays that are working in DC don't even show up to an event that's for you, okay? Because you should feel lucky that you're in the administration.
Right, sir. Yeah, y'all were platforming and kissing the ass of a gay white man who you thought brought votes to Trump in Pennsylvania. Then come to find out, y'all are now out there. Your white MAGA counterparts are now out there exposing that white man. Shows how much they love you gays. But here's the problem, oh Bussy Smith. You found this out last year and you still went back over there. You were independent for about 2 weeks and you went right back. You slave. You are the slave that sees the gate open, takes 10 steps and goes back. You're afraid of what's outside. You're afraid of the feeling of being free. Let me tell you something, sir. I ain't got no allegiance to people except black folks. I ain't on allegiance on the left. I ain't on any allegiance with the right. And I feel fine. I'm happy. And a lot of people in this live are happy too because they did the same thing. You Negroes, the gays, the Asians, whoever you want to put up there, you guys always want to jump on some side to make yourselves feel better so you can have some wins because your loser ass lives have no wins. You walking all up and down South Florida with your phone in your hand. Don't nobody pay attention to you. Don't nobody know you. But you trying to sound smart for white folk. And as I said, later we're going to show you how much of your intelligence white folk like.
We have seen all of this stuff over the past 10 months, and it just does not jive with the reality of the situation. Because the reality is this. If this straight white Christian man stuff that's going on X, if that was really the leadership of the Republican Party, and that was really who was coming out to save the party, then they would have showed up in New Jersey to vote. They would have showed up in Virginia to vote. They would have showed up in New York to vote for Curtis Sliwa. But they did not do that. And so that leads me to believe that all of that stuff is just a fantasy that lives on X that generally doesn't have a basis in reality, because if it was reality, then we'd be looking at Republicans winning the night instead of being the big losers of the night.
No, because you dumbasses don't know how to message. Now he's trying to get his James Baldwin on. No, sir, that's not going to work here. Because, like I said yesterday, you jokes over there on the right had an entire year after the election from November 6th, 2024 to November 4th, 2025 to secure yourselves and to show the Republicans that MAGA actually wants to help the country. Y'all didn't want to do that. You wanted to be goddamn celebrities. You wanted to run on TV. You wanted to go on ABC. You wanted to be in an MCU project. You fuckers are running out there getting managers from Hollywood to back you up, so when this MAGA train finally falls off the track, you can run to LA and be your little liberal selves that you really are in real life. Because you know that side over there having fun. They got all the money. They got all the motion. Quiet as it's kept, you stupid motherfuckers over there love what Mondami's about to do with New York. You want that free shit. I guarantee you in the next couple months, you're going to see a whole bunch of conservatives, in name only, CNOs. You're going to see them taking flights to New York just to, how they going to call it, document Mondami's changes in New York City. They'll probably give them about 60 days, maybe 90. Maybe they'll wait till after the Super Bowl to do it. But trust and believe. You're going to see, quote unquote, investigative journalists showing it. And what you're going to see is the same thing you see in New York right now. Did nothing change. Maybe the price is hiked up a little bit. Maybe. But y'all love that. That's what you want. You want the right to be the socialist. Because your daddies were never around to put the belt on you.
That being said, there's an opportunity, I think, for a reimagining. And it's the reimagining of what the Republican Party is or should be in the future. because I'm going to give you a little inside tip that a lot of you people don't.
Now, we should tell, I think everybody in the chat should say pause. For those two words he just said, inside tip, pause. Sir, if you're about to tell us that you got to change messaging, save it. Republicans don't know how to do messaging. They kicked out everybody that's told them to change their messaging. Everybody.
Don't seem to know. It's that all these new people that brought Trump to power, these blacks, these gays, these Jews, these Latinos,
New people.
all of these undesirables, these people came for Trump. They didn't come for the Republican Party.
And that's the problem, sir. He just told y'all what was MAGA's problem for a decade. You brought all them new people in there, and they only went there for him. They didn't go there for y'all. And that just goes back to what I just said. Y'all got a problem with messaging. MAGA is a used car salesman. The Republican Party, I liken them to, this is going to sound so fucked up. MAGA is the used car salesman. The Republican Party is the motherfucker that pulls up on you when you're 8 years old trying to walk home and pulls up in the car talking about, hey, your dad and your mom told me to come pick you up. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. MAGA is the used car salesman. The Republican Party is the scumbag who drives up on you as you're walking home telling you your mom and dad told me to take you home. Y'all willingly jumped in a car knowing their history, knowing the history of people like that. You still jumped in the car. Now you're wondering why you're in therapy right now. I said it. And if you don't believe me, replay the live we did yesterday. And all those examples, all that regret, all that Twitter therapy they were doing yesterday. Running on each other's platforms to go bitch about how the Democrats whoop their ass instead of going online and coming up with solutions. Start putting up names for next year. No, didn't do that. Now, very slowly, you're starting to see the DeSantis talk now. It's starting to get hot on the bottom. They've learned nothing. But continue to get in them cars. I'm sure one of you are going to be able to escape so you can tell everybody escape and put out the plan so everybody thinks it's going to happen for them. Newsflash, it won't.
Think of a MAGA. I don't even know what MAGA is. MAGA, which is quickly becoming cringe among anybody.
Negro, it was cringe in 2016 when people started hearing it.
That does not live their life on X. All right? So the Republican Party, I think, has an opportunity to reimagine what and who they are. Is it going to be...
Did y'all hear what that man just said? He wants the Republican Party to be like the Democrat Party. That's not going to work, sir. Remember, y'all said y'all were the party that weren't racist. Y'all were the party that freed the slaves. Remember they kept saying that? They're the party of Lincoln, even though he had the 3/5 compromise. But, you know, all right, that's them. Rob Smith is trying to tell you that with all these coalition of new folk, because MAGA ain't racist, the Republicans ain't racist, they'll be able to change the Republican Party from within. You really think you're going to change Appalachia, sir? You think you're going to change Tornado Alley, sir? Because maybe y'all forgot how Vivek and his wife got treated in Tornado Alley. Maybe you forgot. And he's a brown-skinned Hindu. What do you think they got for your black ass? What do you think they got for them Jews? What do you think they got for them Asians who they only respect outside of their restaurants? I tell a lie. They only respect them inside their restaurants.
That sort of multiracial, multi-generational, multifaceted coalition that brought Trump into power.
Multi-generational.
That Democrats dream of, that they pretend to have, that they don't really have, because really it's like a bunch of that brought Trump into power. That coalition that Democrats dream of, that they pretend to have, that they don't really have, because really it's like a bunch of radicals and childless cat ladies.
This nigga still on stereotypes. How'd that? Wait a minute. Did you see those exit polls, sir? And we know how you are with polls, but anyway, did you see those exit polls, sir? Who went outside for Mondami? Who went outside for Spanberger? Who went outside for Mayaris? Who went outside for Jay Jones? Sounds like a multi-generational, multiracial coalition. Huh. Ain't that something? And for those who didn't see those exit polls, black men overwhelmingly voted for Mondami. Black women too. Latinos did too. Asians did too. Yeah. White women overwhelmingly went out for Spanberger. Oh. Black men went outside for Spanberger. Oh. That sounds multiracial to me. Oh. It pissed them off so much. They talking about repealing the 19th Amendment again. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, 1 and 3 Queen, and thank you for the $5. That's a blessing.
Pretending to be a coalition, that's who the Democrats are. But we have an opportunity as Republicans to reimagine who we are. All right? And I don't think that
I don't know. He talking French again. Who's this we, sir? You're not a Republican. So either you're independent and you lied, or you're a Republican and lied because you got called the F word. So Rob Smith is telling you he wants to change the party. This should be fun. Go ahead. Tell me how you're going to do it.
Conversation on X is helping us reimagine this. I think that the conversation on X has devolved into a lot of Pied Pipers leading everybody down a path of craziness.
Because they're dumb. And y'all let dumb voices lead you. See how that worked? You canceled all the conservatives that actually were making sense. You downgraded them and shadow banned them. And now they're looking like the prophets because they were saying this shit way before it was cool to say the shit. You had conservatives on the ground in their communities actually doing the work. And all they asked was somebody of prominence that got a voice, come up here and just sit down with us for 15 minutes. We can do an elevator pitch to y'all. 60 to 90 seconds, and the rest of the time, we figure out solutions that help us get our voice out there. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to bitch about everything else, culture. When you have culture on the ground, you more worried about Hollywood than you were worried about East LA. You were more worried about the Upper West Side instead of worrying about Jamaica, Queens. Because the demographic of black people and their percentages, it was too high for you to be amongst them, even though you're black. Somehow you were afraid some Negro was going to go out there and pull your card in front of all your white friends and them cameras. So you didn't want to talk about that shit. You got Hispanics over there on the right. You didn't want to send them over to where their people are to get the perspectives of what's going on because you were afraid that they were going to get called those derogatory names in Spanish. You got Charlie Cheong's old racist, stupid ass over there, but you know he ain't going to show up in no Asian neighborhood because they're going to call him a sellout and a traitor. Especially after that video when he was begging to be around white people. As much as Asians love being around white people, they ain't begging to do that. They stay with themselves. And you think you over here having your Martin Luther King, James Baldwin moment, you think that's going to change all these dyed-in-the-wool Republican conservative? You think they're going to change and accept y'all? Y'all are like going in your manager's office asking for a raise and you just got there. Because everybody on what they call it, Indeed and Monster and LinkedIn said that they're a great boss and it's a great company with a great culture. Then you sat down and found out that it was all lies. It was probably some bot that told you that. But continue. You got more.
And insanity in making people think that, oh my God, you know, this is all about the straight white Christian man. And that's the person that's going to save us. And everybody else needs to shut up and fall in line. And I would have been able to go along with that should you guys show up to win elections and you don't.
Ooh, he getting sassy. Now he want to admonish white, straight, hetero Christian men. This is going to end well for him.
You don't. So now you are proven to be losers. You are proven to not show up.
And you're still there.
You are proven that all these cable news hits and all these podcasting and all of this tweet.
And you're still there. You're like Tommy Sotomayor in that space with Richard Spencer. You were getting cursed out by a white man and you stood there and took it until they kicked you out. You went right back to the party that does not respect you. But you fixed your mouth to talk about black folk. At least black folk have the nuts to leave where we're not wanted.
Doesn't mean anything when the rubber hits the road. So, my pitch and
Did you see that?
my idea is this. If we don't mean anything when the rubber hits the road. So, my pitch and
Yeah, you see that? So white, hetero, Christian, straight, Judeo-Christian men are going to follow this?
or hits the road. So, my pitch and
My pitch. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because nothing screams like the new Republican Party than the 90s neck roll. Okay. All right. White men are all about the Dempsey roll, and you trying to bring in the neck roll. They're all about the Nazi wave, and you trying to bring in the finger wave. Sir, you better go on. You better go on. By the way, screenshot number 2.
my idea is this. If we don't spend some time reimagining what we want the Republican Party to look like and who we're including and who we're involving and
Keep going.
who we think should be the next generation of Republicans, then the midterms that are coming up 1 year from now, are gonna make tonight look like I don't know, dessert at Dairy Queen.
Dessert at Dairy Queen.
Because if we don't figure it out, it is going to get a lot worse than this very quickly.
Did y'all notice this Negro did not put up one legislative policy? Not one. He talking about culture bullshit again. What did I tell y'all yesterday? This is why they lost. If you follow me on X, I have about 5 to 6 posts where I just said, this is why they lost. And everything I quote tweeted was content based on culture, not policy. He sat there for 5 minutes and didn't say one thing that is tangible that would help the Republicans win next year. Not one. He's talking about creating the new NAACP. And he thinks the Republicans are going to go for that. Well, let's see how they took that, shall we? Sarah Stock. Now, if you remember Sarah Stock, she was embroiled in that controversy where she showed everyone that she was getting engaged, and hating ass white women came in there and called her all type of whores. And they all aired out their dirty laundry about what goes on at these conservative conferences. So Sarah Stock wrote, "What are you talking about? Blacks, gays, and Jews overwhelmingly vote Democrat. They did not vote for Trump. Instead of constantly pandering them, why doesn't the GOP offer something to white Christian men who get them elected?" Well, guess what, Sarah? They did. And your Trump is not fulfilling it. Because guess what, Sarah? You're a blonde, so you won't understand this, but I'll say it to you slow. Those same white Christian men are now in their districts at district meetings and city council meetings screaming to those same white Christian men that are sitting on those councils or their congressional representative in those town halls, yelling at them because their policies trying to stand next to Trump are not working, and they're taking food out of their mouths, out of their children's mouths. They're taking food out of the Americans' mouths. They're taking money away from everybody. What is Trump going to offer? Those bullshit bailouts? Where's he getting the money from? Yeah, that's right, Sarah. You and your fiance. You know how y'all like to run around and say no reparations? Yeah, what do you think a bailout is? Reparations. Fine. Y'all are going to try to be smart and say reconciliation. Okay, fine. Still means the same thing. So you're willing to give it to white Christian men who've done nothing except bitch and cast their vote the wrong way. But you don't want to go help people that actually need it. That's interesting. By the way, also, these are the same white Christian men who saw the supply chain fucked up and haven't fixed it in 5 years, while everybody else in the world figured out how to fix theirs, and all they had to do was pick up the phone and say, "Hey, downtrodden country, you want to come in and help? You want some money, right? Let's do some trade." "Oh, no, we're not using that bullshit dollar. We're going to use your money. Give me your money. Well, I'll give you some of mine. Let's go work." And now everybody else in the world is getting picked up, and it seems like all the Western countries are going down. But you want to offer white Christian men something. You want to give them more money so they can go out and destroy some more. And you think that's going to work. Let's see what they said about Rob Smith in his 5-minute video. "This is probably true. The Tucker and Fuentes have done more to drive moderates away from the party than many want to believe." Oh, so we begin by blaming the white man. But according to the Republican Party, you can't blame the white man. It's everybody else. The white men are the victims. They haven't been ignored by Trump, but they have been ignored by the GOP. I'm not understanding why we focus on identity at all. It's counterproductive on every scale. Is that why we spend so much time talking about the grievances of white people? Ooh, you're getting spicy, you little bastard. There's legitimate grievances when it comes to things like DEI. Yet your ICE agents are all DEI now. But I'm going to shut up about that because some people are going to get mad at me for saying that. I'm going to be quiet. Here we go. And there it is. You're just another piece of shit leftist woke scumbag. F you. May you get what you deserve. To be fair, white people built this country, not us. They deserve to be upset. Right? Yeah, white people built this country. Okay. All right. Notice they keep saying they built this country and never asked for reparations. Oh, my Lord. Their country being taken away from them and they ain't asking for no reparations. Oh, my. It's almost like they know they didn't build it. And they would look right foolish to go to their government and ask them for reparations. Ain't that something? That's why they like to hide that they're slave owner cousins, because a lot of them claim they're ancestors, but they're not. A lot of their slave owner cousins got reparations for losing their slaves. You notice how they don't like bringing that up. Trump has done more for Black Americans than any president besides Abraham Lincoln. You love how they just like to tell this lie, right? Oh, okay. All right. And that was only because he was losing the war and had to make concession for support. Okay. All right. All right. So did the grift dry up, or is this just the natural course of using identity as a sword and shield? Identity politics. All right. How about everyone stop talking about race, sexual orientation, and ethnicity in GOP? What did I say during his whole rant? They don't want that rainbow coalition in the GOP. They want white men leading it. Whew. Instead, identify yourself as a hardworking, family-oriented, and law-abiding citizen who wants politicians that put America first. You would still have to listen to the person and look them dead in the eye when they tell you that. And you're going to tell me now you ain't going to think about color? You're just going to see red, white, and blue, which are actually 3 colors? Oops. I don't tell you to stop talking about being white ever, so why should I shut up about my race? Oops. Now he getting sassy again. I didn't tell you to shut up, so calm down. It's divisive in the context of your post, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. Oh, no, look. They're cooking him. Yeah, Bussy Smith. What happened? You don't belong on our side. Too bad. You can't get rid of me. Come on, if you guys go a little bit tougher on him, he's going to run back to Abby Phillip. God damn, he said it. Y'all see that comment? Rob, that's what they think of you, sir. I know you're going to tell me that's a bot. That's what the bot was programmed to take your response and write that. The man doesn't get it. Oh, listen, can't be such an obvious fake plan. Too much of this BS. The hostile takeover MAGA is out of control. No, sir. Again, this is the Republicans and Democrats doing what they were planning to do when they knew Trump was about to be president again. They were going to destroy MAGA. And I won't be surprised if Elon Musk is the benefactor and the one fronting the cash to do it. Oh, God. And it goes on and on and on. So we got that one done. Look at Tatum. They are laughing at Tatum.
That you didn't see this. Brandon said when he was at the Jewish coalition, the Republican Jewish coalition event, Brandon said that, so.
Negro, why would you... I understand you're trying to be funny. One, that wasn't funny. Two, but I understand what you're trying to do. You're not funny, but you want to be funny. You got a name and you acting... Is that supposed to be Nick Fuentes? I'm just trying to figure this out. Now we know Nick Fuentes he a sissy boy. We understand this. But my thing is this: if you're gonna imitate him, at least go all the way. Just making up a voice that you think how he sounds doesn't work. It don't work. You look like a Negro from Atlanta. That's what it came off as. But let me hear what this white man saying, because you know white people don't like you. But go ahead.
Sergeant Shekel responded.
Don't realize, I said Israel is one of our biggest allies. I didn't say that they were our biggest. I said they're one of our biggest allies. And if you don't believe that, you fall in one of two categories. You're either ignorant or you just hate Jews. Put your thinking cap on. This dude fell in the category that I'm talking about. Is it not true that Israel is one of our biggest allies? Not only do we give them more money than just about anybody.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it. Just the same way.
Not only do we give them more money than just about anybody, we also support them more than anybody. Okay. And we get intelligence from them and all that. Our relation.
Officer Biden has entered the chat. Officer Biden has entered the chat. Go ahead, Officer Biden.
Also support them more than anybody. Okay. And we get intelligence from him and all that. Our relationship go back and forth.
I was going to put him
One of our biggest allies.
Back it up a moment. You just said that you were gay?
Donald Trump was just down there negotiating a peace deal.
125 ceasefire violations, 52 shootings, 55 shellings, and 9 incursions. Then came October 29th, the deadliest day since the truce began. Over 104 killed in 24 hours, including 46 children and 20 women. President Trump said Israel hit back, but added, nothing will jeopardize the ceasefire. Israel also blocked the Rafah crossing, cut off fuel and...
Now, Marco, what did I tell y'all? Cartier family is a bunch of grifters. Of course they were going to laugh at him. Thomas Sowell ain't put out no content that they could sit there and react to. One. Number two, you're correct. Black conservatives have no loyalty to each other. That's why I went on that rant on Tuesday about them. They don't signal boost each other. Candace went through all that bullshit with Daily Wire. Not one of them put her on their platform. They didn't want to touch her. They wanted to keep their white people happy. And that could have been probably the biggest videos they ever had. They're all about themselves and make sure white people give them money. Major Lucas already exposed them, talking about, oh, they were all sitting in group chats and saying, okay, you doing this video, you put yours out on this time, I'm gonna put mine out there, we gonna back each other up. Huh? How's that signal boosting each other? Why don't y'all get together one a month like I suggested years ago and have panels with all of y'all talking about the issues? That way everybody get paid. And you just rotate it on each other's channels. Everybody get paid. But there you go.
medical aid, allowing only 200 to 300 trucks daily instead of the 600 promised. Hospitals are collapsing, and 983 patients have died waiting to leave Gaza for treatment.
When Benjamin Netanyahu has come to our government and spoke before Congress probably more than any other president or prime minister of any country.
I believe that the next step is to choose. It's not a question of whether you have to take action, but what kind of action and against whom. If I had to choose, should there be military action first against Iraq or first against Iran, I would choose to go after Iraq.
What a dumb person.
BB, I'll tell you what, man. You better come get your boy. He's doing our job for us.
I see dead people. I'm sure they were, yeah. The Officer Tatum, you asked Ian to come on your podcast and he accepted your request. Now, where are you? Huh. They're tagging him. I bet you he's going to act like he didn't see it. I ain't been on Instagram. That way he going to tell everybody. I've been on Instagram. I ain't been on there. I'm starting to notice a trend here whenever we start questioning anything about Israel. It's you are anti-Semitic and you hate Jews. Yeah. His downfall as a complete Israel shill is remarkable in that it's so transparently unknown to him why he's falling so fast. The absolute funniest part is he's literally not figuratively so captured by their ideology, he will never see it. He is that stupid, that brainwashed. He could say all that and still not get it. I always thought he seemed like a cool dude when I saw him talk. Listen, I always thought he seemed like a cool dude when I saw him talk. What if we in the new black media told y'all for years they let these people in there because they said something that they liked? Something that goes with their principles, not the principles. Tatum Tots got on sucking off Trump, and talking bad about black people. They love that shit. Now he wants to sound smart. They don't like it. But now I know he's literally just a faux intellectual. He's not smart, but okay. Or he is so compromised that whatever they do have on him is so devastatingly bad he can never escape doing what they say. Either way, it's a terrible look. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. All right. They don't fucking get it. No, Lori Parks, they're not done with it. And they never will be done with it until the coalition that they're trying to kiss ass to calls them a nigga. To their face, repeatedly. Preferably on a live stream so we could keep running it back. And then all they'll have for them is, you're an ignorant person. Because we know Tatum Tots, he'll only get loud for black men. And by the way, for those who think he's going to debate that white man, no, because he still hasn't debated Maj Toure. And it's been years. He said he was going to give Hotep Jesus accountability. Still hasn't done it. See? No, we're not surprised a woman who would tell Jews to burn their ovens also freely drops anti-black slurs. Oh. So you see this and you're okay with that. Oh, because I don't see you doing a video about this. I guarantee you he won't put this on his channel. I guarantee you he won't. Yeah. This is his page. Don't worry, we're going to watch this soon. Don't worry. It's coming. He's reacting to himself. By the way, he had old face Andre with him.
Israel is just as sophisticated. So for somebody to be kind of acting like Israel is just this sophisticated little group of people and they come out manipulating big bad America, that's insane. We went to war for 20 years after 9/11. 20 plus years. Where is the weapons of mass destruction?
And who do you think planted it in the ear of the United States government that they should get involved in the Middle East and Iraq because they have weapons of mass destruction?
There is no question whatsoever that Saddam is seeking and is working and is advancing towards the development of nuclear weapons. No question whatsoever.
Yeah, that would be your boys over there. So with that established, you mentioned that we were in 20 plus years in the global war on terror in the Middle East, right? I was there, I know. Most of my friends on here were there. You know who wasn't there? You fucking Talmud Tatum, nor...
Now, this is a military dude. Probably he might even be a cop too. Notice the shirt. We're going to leave that alone. That's a skull, by the way. He say he a painter, okay. Stackhouse custom paintings, okay. The skull, okay. We got it. But yeah, sir. You know that same military and law enforcement that love you so much until you start talking about procedures and they started telling you how dumb you were. Yeah, it looked like that coalition cracking. But according to Bussy Smith, GOP need to build coalitions. Okay.
Any of your boys from fucking Israel, our greatest ally. Never once did we get a Kazavac, not a call for fire, not a single IDF soldier, no QRFs, no resupplies, no bullets, beans, bandages, nothing from Israel. For 20 plus years, fighting wars in the Middle East that benefit them. You know who was there shedding blood with us? Fighting next to us down there, fucking putting in work? The British, the Danish, the Polish, the Australians. I can go on and on, all the way to even Muslim countries. I know you hate to hear that, but Muslim countries like United Arab Emirates were there fighting with us, shedding fucking blood. You know where we got medevaced? We didn't get medevaced at fucking Tel Aviv, which is right around the corner. We got medevaced to Landstuhl, Germany. So please tell me how Israel's our greatest ally and how they do anything for us.
Well, there's that. And as I said, there's going to be an upload where we're going to get some more. But we spent enough time on that. It's time to have fun. So if you stay around for about 3 minutes, we're going to launch the next live. And we're going to laugh at Charlie Kirk getting cooked in a debate. So hopefully you learned something. If you did a dumb job. If not, I try to be better next time. I will see you in about 180 seconds. If you're not going to be around, hey, you could be replay gang. So y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your